Oh my gosh, I'm not ready. I hit record without grabbing my things that I need. Hi, I'm Analisa, and I am here with the Lady of Leisure and the Sober Curator to bring you the November 2023 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Gemini for sun and rising placements. It's November, it's Scorpio season. I feel like Scorpios and Geminis tend to get along really well, sometimes for worse rather than better. You're both very mischievous energies in different ways, but y'all like to get into trouble together, and I personally love Geminis and Scorpios, but y'all kind of scare me too. But anyways, hi Gemini, it's your turn. I'm here to talk about what's in store for you this month. So let's go ahead and talk about Scorpio energy and kind of where that's influencing you at the beginning of the month. So we start out with the sun, Mercury, Mars, and Ceres all in the fixed water sign of Scorpio. And the area of the chart that that's hitting for you is the area that has to do with your health, also the area that has to do with your daily routine and how you are of active service to others. So it's interesting because Scorpio energy in this way could be very productive if you're able to harness it in an active way and see it as something that is empowering for you to kind of get a handle or control on certain areas of your life that feel scattered. Gemini energy is mutable, so mutable signs tend to feel a little bit more scattered and have a harder time getting grounded. And Scorpio being fixed water, it really wants to kind of center and ground more of the emotions and do deep work. It wants to kind of go deep within. And my dogs are very amped up because it's Halloween, not letting people knock on the door, but I think they're hearing people like getting candy out of the bowl that I put out front. So I'm sorry. I should have closed this door. I meant when I came in here to close the door to keep them in here. I don't know if that would have prevented them from barking though, because they can still hear things. Anyways, totally breaking my train of thought here. Those pups. Might need to pause this and go get them. Let's do that. Let's take a pause. I'm back, and hopefully my dogs will be quiet now. So the Scorpio energy where it's hitting can be a really empowering place if you lean into more of your emotions and more of your feelings and some of the deeper rooted kind of stuff that might be coming up for you at this time. But it can feel heavy and intense if you're trying to stay in your own airy lightness, which Gemini sometimes has a tendency to, want things to feel more fun and fluid and less heavy. But Scorpio really wants us to go deep and process our feelings and kind of some of the things that are under the surface. With Mars here too, and Mercury and Mars here, our mental health, our emotional health affects our mental health and vice versa. So there's a lot here where working on your spiritual hygiene and your mental health is important for you during Scorpio season. The other energy that we have impacting you this month is starting out the month at least is Venus in Virgo. So Venus has been passing through Virgo since October, and it's hitting the area of the chart that has to do with home and family. So this is a really positive energy for connecting to family or connecting to your home. It also kind of makes you a little bit more introverted and more likely to want to stay home, which is a little bit unlike Gemini because Gemini does have more of a social nature. I know plenty of introverted Geminis though, and Geminis that prefer their own alone time and love spending time alone. So of course, as much as Gemini has a social side, you also have a private side and an internally focused side. So this has kind of been a more introverted time for you in general. And part of the work that you're doing is finding out what fulfills you on a deeper way. That's the Scorpio part. And how do you work some healing probably into the daily routine around things from the past that might be coming up that are conjuring up some need for spiritual and emotional hygiene, if that makes sense. I hope it does. I think that the thing that's kind of hard about some of the transits that you're going through right now is that it's ungrounding. Like it's a very ungrounding time. And a lot of the work that needs to be done for you, Gemini, is processing some of the deeper things that are private to you, you know, like things that are in the subconscious. And if you do the shadow work and you process some of the things coming up for you in a healthy way, not in an avoidant way, but you work through it maybe in therapy or through spiritual work, you will come out empowered and strong and grounded. But, you know, if you're kind of in a place of avoiding that work, then it can manifest more into feeling manic or having more emotional, ungrounded states of being and feeling more lost and kind of like you're trying to find something to hold on to that isn't there. So, you know, my advice when you're feeling that way is to lean on other people that are there for you, that can offer you emotional support, but also to get in therapy so that you can really kind of develop some skills and tools for how to work on that stuff in a deeper way. And developing a spiritual practice if you don't have one already. If you're watching this, I assume you have some kind of spiritual practice because astrology tends to bring spiritual people into the mix. But if you're not sure what a spiritual practice looks like, it's different for everybody. You know, for some of us, we enjoy doing meditation and dream work. I would say my spiritual practice is very like individual. Like I'm not a part of like a specific doctrine or dogma. Like for me, spirituality is me doing things like tarot and astrology and meditation and rituals. I do a lot of ritual work that is very sacred and private to me, and dream work too, like decoding and dissecting my dreams. And honestly, I spend a lot of time in nature, like go hiking and do nature walks and connecting to the earth. That's really spiritual. I mean, life is spiritual, living is spiritual. You don't have to have some elaborate practice to live a spiritual existence. I think it's just more about tuning into that frequency and knowing that everything we do in our life is also a part of our spirit and part of connecting to the cosmos, right? Every act that we do can be a spiritual act if we want to make it one. So I think that's something too, like bringing spirituality into your mundane could also be positive for you if you're finding the mundane to be lackluster and monotonous. I talk actually a bit about that in the astrology forecast for November, I believe. So I always recommend people, if they want a deeper synopsis on what the month holds, to watch the November astrology forecast, or not just the November one, but like the astrology forecast that I do for the whole month, because I go deeper into each transit. For the signs, I do just kind of like what the general theme is for you. Okay, so let's kind of keep talking about this. Oh, I got really ahead for some reason. So Mercury is going to be in Scorpio until the 9th, and then it enters Sagittarius. So Mercury is actually going to move out of Scorpio and enter Sagittarius for the rest of the month, starting on the 9th. And it's going to enter the area of the chart for Gemini that has to do with romantic relationships, as well as partnerships such as business partners and best friends. Mercury is the planet of communication. And so when Mercury enters this area of the chart, communication in partnership dynamics is highlighted. If you are single and you are dating, that also amplifies your dating life and your ability to communicate and network with people. If you're in a relationship, you might be communicating more about your values, your belief systems. That's the Sagittarius theme, and also your different perspectives on things, that type of energy. Venus is going to move out of Virgo and enter Libra a couple days before that, I believe on the 7th or the 8th. I'm trying to see here. I think it's the 8th. And that's going to be entering the area of the chart that has to do with self-expression and creativity. So Venus here is really positive. It amplifies your desire to connect and share with others, and also to express yourself with the world and with others. It also amplifies your need for validation from other people. So that's something to be watchful of, especially if you're dating or, you know, wanting attention from people in a romantic way, since that's also amplified with Mercury passing through the 7th house. Mars is going to be in Scorpio until the end of the month, and then on the 24th it's going to also enter the 7th house with Mercury and the Sun. The Sun enters Sagittarius on the 23rd. So by the 23rd we're going to have Mercury, the Sun, and then Mars on the 24th, all in Sagittarius, and that's going to really light up the house that has to do with relationships. So Mars, you know, wherever Mars is, there's some conflict and there's some tension, but there's also action and drive. And so in one way, it amplifies maybe action and drive when it comes to your romantic life or your partnerships with people, but it also can amplify some tension and conflict as well. So that's something to be mindful of. Venus will still be in the area that has to do with self-expression and, you know, desire to share and connect with people. And Venus here also amplifies a desire for romance. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to desire emotional connection in your relationships, validation, and a need to feel like you're expanding in the heart space around those things. Let's go ahead and talk about our moons that we're having. So on November 13th, we're going to have our new moon at 20 degrees of Scorpio. New moons are a time of setting intentions towards things that we want to call in or manifest into our lives. And so the area of the chart that this is hitting for the Gemini horoscope is the area that we started out talking about, which is the area that has to do with your daily routine, your health, and how you're of service. So if there's things about your daily routine and your health and how you take care of yourself that you want to set intentions towards changing in a positive way, this is a great moon to set those intentions for. Also, if there's work that you're doing that you want to change or elevate in some way, this is also a positive time to set intentions towards that. The full moon that we have is going to be in your sign of Gemini. It's going to be at 4 degrees of Gemini, and that's going to be happening on November 27th. And the area that this is highlighting, the sun is going to be in Sagittarius, so that's highlighting the house that represents your partnership, relationships, and then the moon is highlighting the area that represents identity and your relationship to self. And so values and belief systems and perspectives on your autonomy and your relationship to self versus your values and belief systems on how you relate to other people are going to be highlighted and up for review during this full moon on November 27th. Full moons are a time for releasing and letting go, as well as calling in and manifesting. So there's two different things that could happen. If you're wanting to manifest or call in a relationship dynamic that you want in your life, this is a really good time to ask for that or manifest that. On the flip side, if you are leaving a relationship or you are thinking about leaving a relationship, this could also be a really powerful, positive time to claim your autonomy and your sense of self and release and let go that tie to that partnership. And this could be a romantic partnership, but it could also be a business partnership or even a best friend. So if you're having, you know, a friendship that you've been having a lot of problems in and you're kind of over it, and you need to make some boundaries, this is a time where that you might be at that point, you know, at that crossroads. So those are a lot of the themes for you in November. All right, Gemini, I think we're good. I think I'm going to leave you there. If you liked this video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe. You can follow me at ladyofleosure.com as well as thesobercurator.com. And that is what I am on the socials. I contribute to the Sober Curator. I'm not the Sober Curator, but I contribute to the Sober Curator. And then my Instagram is at Lady of Leosure as well. And I post these every month, and feel free to let me know in the comments what you thought of your horoscope, and I will talk to you guys in December. All right, good luck.